Hey guys, this is John from Walkthrough Code. So in the last video we talked about creating this nested route situation, and in this video we're going to talk about how to get everything passed down from our parent controller, which is main control. We can prove that by going to index.html and seeing that this main control is the parent controller of the body. And then we're going to learn how to pass things down from main control into these components right here. So let's go ahead and get started to do that. So we've created these, and these are in relation to our main control that we have main control, but we haven't created these variables in there yet. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to leave this main service injected in here, and then we're going to say main service dot get posts. And then we're going to say dot then, and then so we actually need to use an arrow function here to actually make this work. I tested it with both a regular function and an arrow function, and it actually works with an arrow function, and it does not work without. So let's go ahead and say this dot incomplete posts equals response dot data dot splice, and then we're going to take the first 50 of them, which will modify, or I shouldn't say modify, I should say mutate the original response.data. So if we say this dot complete posts equals response.data, now this is actually going to have the last 50 of them from 51 to 100. So we'll go ahead and leave that in there. So that takes care of that. Now because we created these, now in here these will be able to see these two variables that are being passed in to the posts binding inside of this component. So now that we're passing these in here, we no longer need that. But what we do need in here is something called bindings. And what this bindings is, it's telling this component exactly what bindings to expect. We have one called posts. We can again prove that by going here and saying post list. We have a binding called posts that will receive vm.incomplete posts. In our other version, we still have that post, and it's going to receive complete posts. So let's go back here, and we're going to say posts, and in here we're going to say less than. And so what this denotes is a single a one-way binding, pretty much. If we say equals, it's going to denote a two-way binding, and then if we have an ampersand in there, it's going to denote a function that's being passed in and being it's going to be the parent component will in essence wait on that being fired, but that's another situation. So let's turn this back to one-way data binding, since we're not going to be mutating or changing anything. And let's go ahead and see what's going on here if we need to fix anything. So we'll bring this over here, and we'll say /post /complete, and how about that? Then we go over here and say incomplete. And now it's the other part. We can prove that by doing, let's go to post list. Let's add an ID field in here, ID, and then we'll say post.id, and then we'll bring this back, and we'll see ID1 for incomplete, exactly what we said, right? We said the first 50 are going to go with incomplete, and then the second 50 are going to go on complete. So just a review of what we talked about today. We talked about how to pass data down from the parent controller to a child controller. And the way that we did that was we created these child routes, and from main control, our parent controller, denoted right here, we went and in app.js we created a child route of the posts route of sorts. and we created vm.incomplete post inside of our main controller right here, and then we created two bindings inside of our component, and we added the one-way data operator, and then we let that show inside of those components. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any comments or questions, totally leave them in the comment section below. If we would love for you to like and subscribe so I can show you guys more videos. And the last thing, I suppose, is if you have any questions or you want to get a hold of me on social media, best place to do that is on Twitter. My Twitter handle is JohnA2, JOHNA2. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys, and have an awesome day.